Hello, babies. This is Masalavito, and welcome back to Queen at Arms. Now, my last game, I stopped at the castle where I met a ninja, but I didn't get to read that part yet, so we're gonna load this game up. Hello, baby. How you doing? I like your mask. Can I pet you? Can I snuggle you? No? Okay. Let me get my lovely speaking voice to function. He was completely out of place in the kitchen. You think? And the whole castle itself, really, but no one seemed to even notice him. He's a ninja, honey. No one's going to notice him. Do I even want to know what this guy is about? Yes. Because I love a mysterious man or woman. I don't know what they are yet. I'm gonna find out. On second look, there was absolutely no reason I shouldn't have spotted him right away. He stood out like a sore thumb with that white and red mask of his. Was it supposed to be an animal? A dog, maybe? Does it look like a dog? No, it does not. It's a cat. He noticed me looking at him. Or rather, I assumed he noticed. He had pointed his mask in my direction. Somehow, even though it didn't have eye holes for me to be sure, I could tell he was peering right through into my soul. No! My secrets! They all revealed! Or he's just checking out her bust. She is a woman. Oh, I am a woman. As far as I'm aware of. I wasn't sure how he could possibly see through the solid surface, but I got the feeling he could. He stared right at me, and his hands moved slowly towards the table. I swallowed. I couldn't break my gaze from the mask to see what he was grabbing. For a moment, my heart stopped. Did he recognize me? Was I going to die? Shank. Poke. Why was no one else worried about him being there? Could I really be the only one who saw him? I gulped. Gulp! If no one was gonna help me, I had to be able to defend myself. If only I had a sword. You could throw a shoe at him. Shoes are pretty lethal, right? It wasn't until his hand moved over to his mask that I saw that what weapon he grabbed. Was it a rubber chicken? That'd be hilarious if it was a rubber chicken. On guard, bonk. I suddenly felt very stupid. It was not a weapon at all. It was a hunk of bread, with meat and cheese stuffed into it. He lifted the mask just slightly in order to put the sandwich into his mouth. It was a very simple action, but it compounded the absurdity of the whole situation just right. I laughed. For a moment, everyone's attention fell on me, until they wandered back into their own conversation. Oh, so funny. I heard a slight chuckle from behind the mask again. The guy seemed to be on the same joke I was, though I might have just made the assumption to calm my own unsettled nerves. He took another bite and then slowly got up, taking the food with him. He walked over to me. That was a lot of moving, buddy. That was so much walking. I watched him break the sandwich in half and offer the non-bite end to me. I didn't really have much of a choice but to take it. He didn't seem like the sort you want to upset. He took another bite of his end, and I took a nibble of mine. It was actually really good. Oh, actually very good. Better than good. Soft in the middle, with slightly toasted crisp at the crust. And the mix of meat, cheese, and vegetables inside was nearly sublime. Yummy. I like sandwiches. Such a simple meal had no right to be so tasty. Despite myself, I made the noise of approval as I chewed. You mean this noise? That's typically a noise, right? The masked man just gave me a nod and a thumbs up. Hey! Oh, it's you. Come on! We're going! The assistant commander looked very disgruntled as he barreled up to us. The bottle of something good must not have been here. Aw, someone's cranky. He needs his nap time. I turned to take one last look at the masked man, but he had already vanished. Strange. I guess I could worry about it when I wasn't supposed to be following Boren. I had a funny feeling that I would see the masked man again if I kept my eyes open. I bet I'm gonna see him too. Okay, so far this is not really a game. This is a live story. That's basically it. I still like it, honestly, so I'm gonna keep playing. The medical tent was slightly less crowded than it had been before, but not by much. I couldn't see my brother anywhere. Hey! Half the clerics stop what they're doing and I just clicked on that way too fast to read. Ha ha ha, I'm sorry. The one that was responsible for finally dressed than the others. Okay.
Can I help you?
Assistant Commander Bowen. Lovely to see you. Lucius. Oh. Okay, this is not the Lucius from Harry Potter. Thank God. That guy was a total bag of these. Prelate Lucius. The commander has requested I fetch the aide a drink. The kitchen wench sent me on a wild goose chase. The well-dressed cleric laughed and put a hand on the assistant commander's substantial shoulder. Hello, baby, you are finely dressed. I like your blue hair. Matches the shade of death in your eyes. Well, perhaps you should have led her on the other night when... Bowen cleared his throat and nodded in my direction. Child. Oh. Why, this must be Cleric Nicholas's brother. He said the commander might want to snap him up. Wait, what? What do you want to do with me? I don't very much approve of being snapped on. Or snapped up. Whatever. We don't really have time to be friendly. No, I suppose not. But I do have what you're looking for. It's on the table, though. I feel it's not entirely full. We're low on disinfectants again, so I had to improvise. Prelate Lucius gestured to a fancy brown bottle on the table. The assistant commander grabbed it and made his way out of the tent. Good. Oh wait, I'm stuck with this guy. Nah! Flips. The commander was exactly where we left him. Oh, nice of you to visit, Bowen. Your drink, Commander. Drinking? At this time of day? I'm shocked. And from the new boy, too. Wait a second. You told him to get a drink for you, you funny goose. I like you. It's the one you asked for, so. Nonsense. Why would I ask for a drink when I have a battle to plan? The silence was so awkward that it was palatable. I like this guy. Fair point, Commander. Since you brought it, why don't you leave it here by my swords? Yes, sir. Bon sounds like... My opinion, Bon is on the verge of just punching the commando. Bon did what he was told, and the commando's attention settled on me. You look exhausted. Did you march in with the other new recruits? I nodded. Well, no wonder. They had you trasping through the King's Woods all night. Boren, see to it this lag gets some proper rest before the big show. Did the scouts bring news? Even if they had, you should always be prepared for war. Of course, sir. Boren saluted Commander Bryce and walked out of the tent. I followed. Oi hoi! As I just smacked my forehead. Okay, I am so good at this. I expected him to stop once we were outside, but he didn't. He must have been leading me to where I was expected to sleep. With all the thought I'd been dictated to sleep in, I hadn't exactly considered where it was gonna be. Mud or bed. The assistant commander walked into a tent full of beds stacked onto one another. Several of the boys were already sleeping. I had to assume no one was meant to have any bed in particular. Maybe I should introduce myself to the other soldiers. But I'm so tired. Let's see. Try to start a conversation with the boys. Find a bed and think about your day. Find a bed and think about the mysterious masked man you met earlier. Ooh. Am I in love? Well. Now I'm gonna strike up a conversation. As tired as I was, this would probably be a good time to socialize. Yeah? Talking didn't come easily to me, but I need some friends if I expect to get through this whole thing. Well, whole. What? I sat down beside the group of boys who were playing cards and telling stories. They accepted me without comment and continued their game. Hey, it's you. I bet my Medal of Knighthood. You bet your Medal of Knighthood. Oh, okay. But you don't have a Medal of Knighthood. A lantern. Well, I will have one. Ooh, someone's a sassy one. You can't bet something you don't have. I will have it. I'm going to save the king's life. Oh, honey. He is far looking into the future here. That's most likely never gonna happen. It's not a good idea. Why don't you bet your spear instead? Aha! The lanterns never goes anywhere without that spear. Hey, this spear is special. It's balanced. Now he's lying. You sleep with that spear. What is it, your wife? Psst. This spear makes a better wife than you would. Oh. Ah, I see shipping. One of the boys rolled his eyes and changed the subject. Who do you think our army is supposed to be fighting? The king said, Pansavoy. Everyone knows that's a lie. A lantern. A lantern. We all jumped at the sound of a faint howling in the distance. That is not faint. That is right outside the tent. Are we gonna mauled by werewolves? What was that? Werewolves. I just said it. Sorry, a really stupid joke just popped in my mind. I'm trying to control my thoughts here. It's a very impossible task, but I try to manage anyway. The cries of the dead, rejected by Althea. Shut up, Roscoe. It's just an Arctic wolf. Haven't you ever heard of one before? I'm from Montcrest. We don't have them though. You better watch out, Russell. They'll love to smell the perfume. They'll eat a dandy like you right up. He started tickling the other boy. Apparently, Russell. Everyone laughed. Aww. Oh, the shipping I can do. I like this game. Stop! You're gonna make me pee. When someone says that, you know you gotta tickle them even harder. Everyone just laughed harder. See? See? When a man says he's gonna pee by tickling him, you gotta tickle him hard until he pees. That's how you win friendship. I listened to him for a while until I started to nod off. Hey, new boy, you're drooling on the cards. That's your bed over there, mate. You better get some sleep. We're up pretty early tomorrow morning. This was the only soldier whose name I hadn't learned yet. Should I ask the soldier his name? No, just call him Fred. That's appropriate. Now I'm gonna ask him his name. Oh, what's your name? He cracked a smile. I'll give you mine if you give me yours. Ooh. Someone's being flirty. Should I tell him my name? Yes. Marcel. He smiled. Connor. Pleased to meet you. He took my hand and shook it. Oh, Connor likes you. Shut up, Lantern. Hey, new kid. Marcel. Let me show you a trick. Okay? Connor took me outside to a campfire that was still smoldering. He gathered up some dried embers and rocks and put them in a tin can. Then he wrapped the can in some fabric. Put that under your mattress. It'll keep your bed warm. If it doesn't, set it on fire. Connor glared at Roscoe. I gave Connor a shy smile. I nodded my thanks and collapsed gratefully to my bed. Not even my uncomfortable uniform could keep me from sleep. When the lights go out, I forget the lyrics. But that's alright because it's copyrighted. There was no light seeping through my eyelids when I woke up, so I didn't bother opening them. The warmth of my bed has given me very restful sleep. A very restful sleep. But I still stayed in it, hoping that sleep would retake me. But instead of slipping off, I became more aware of my surroundings. I opened my eyes, put on my glasses, and took a quick look around. Looking around, non-suspiciously. My bed was still warm from the trick Connor had showed me with the rocks, but the air inside the tent was bitter cold. Ew. I got up slowly, so not to disturb anyone, and made my way out. To my surprise, I saw neither men nor fire when I stepped outside. The chill night lay thick and dark around me, and Athena's... I don't know even why I said Athena. Alfie's lush moon glowed dimly in the sky. I turned to go back to the tent, but then an urge struck me. It was subtle, but unmistakable, and unsurprising as it always only happens once I've gotten up and moved around. I needed to pee. That's not surprising. There was a designated trench for the sort of thing, but most of the men just wandered over to a bush or tree. Unfortunately, I didn't exactly possess that skill needed to relieve myself that way. Well, that's why you take an inotube and... Right, yeah, forget, just, you didn't hear any of my stupidity just now. That was... I'm gonna continue reading. Dropping through at the trench was also out of the question. Even if it was empty at the moment, everyone could have the same midnight urge as myself and wandered over though. It was black as pitch. However, I could easily walk into the woods and no one would know. The forest was dangerous at night, but it had to be safer than doing my business where someone could stumble upon me. So long as I didn't get lost, it would be fine. And then a bell just runs up and moans. I checked the darkness for anyone around and quickly made my way into the woods. I'd made a terrible mistake. Oh, shnikey. I knew that there was a road south of the camp, and I was sure that I could find south by watching the stars, but I wasn't good at navigation, as I thought I'd be. Well, that's terrible for me now, isn't it? It was only getting colder. My stomach was empty. Would they hunt for me if they discovered I was gone? No, they won't. Had they perhaps discovered it already? Running away from the king's army was punishable by death, and no one would believe I wandered into the woods to relieve myself. Of course, they would be looking for a boy named Marcel Cordell. As familiar as I was with the identity, it wasn't truly mine. 'Cause deep in my heart, I am a drag king. It was a desperate thought for a It was a depressing thought for a depressing cold night, but I didn't really know my own. Perhaps it wouldn't be a bad idea to pick a new one. Maybe even a female one. Maybe? Because I am a female after all? Oh, goddess. Wolves! Okay guys, we got movement. We have movement! I swiftly searched my surroundings to see if I could spot them. I hadn't even considered bringing a weapon with me, so there was no way I could defend myself. You're surrounded by rocks. You throw rocks at them. You bat them with sticks. You throw a shoe at them. Anything in life you can make a weapon. Just saying. My heart beat faster and I struggled to breathe. I couldn't spot the wolves, and they didn't sound too close yet. I could still find elsewhere to hide. Of course, the only thing around me were trees. I need to find one with branches low enough to jump and strong enough to hold me. I also need to be absurdly lucky. Get back! Wait, was someone there? In the distance I could see a small light. I was somewhat relieved, but I couldn't just stand there and savor the feeling. I moved towards the light until I saw a young man. He was surrounded by wolves. Oh no. That's a man? I'm not gonna question this game. The young man, circled by wolves, stood out clearly in the forest. His pallid skin easily marked him as someone from a former Grand Kingdom of Montcrest. He was dressed too finely to be a hunter or a traveler. Was he a trader, perhaps? The smell of his fine perfume must have attracted the wolves. Okay. The man looked terrified, and he had dropped his gaslight lantern by the tree. You could... Okay, I'm not gonna even say what you could do. Honey, if you get eaten by wolves because you're stupid, then you die because you're stupid. Beside it lay a bottle of rum. Suddenly, one of the wolves turned to look at me, and my heart jumped. It was larger than the others. Its coat gray instead of white, probably the alpha. The beast appraised me with cold, intelligent eyes. I happen to love wolves. I don't know too much about them, but I do love them. Then it took a step towards me. Oh, goddess. What shall I do? Let's see. Oh, Schnikey, I have a time. Run away, stand and fight, climb a tree, call out to the young man. I'm gonna call. I tried to speak, but self-preservation kept me from making too much noise. Honey! Use your voice! Use your manly voice! Ah! The voice took another step. The youth man didn't hear me, but he spotted me, and he looked up at me with fear. We are both gonna die. I could see that he had a sword, and it scrabbled against his waist. Scabbarded against his waist. Why the heck didn't he use it? Let's see. The wolf is staring at me. What should I do? Run away, stand and fight, climb a tree. I'm gonna stand and fight. Because I'm a manly woman. I'm a manly drag king. Wolves or no wolves, I couldn't leave the young man to be devoured. Actually, I could. I would laugh, and then I would repent for laughing. Technically, I could. I gritted. Oh, that was awful. I'm sorry, Jesus. I gritted my teeth and looked around. What resources were available to me? The forest. We stood in a circle of trees. The man's lantern and a bottle of rum lay on the foot of the tree nearest me. At the base of the dead trunk, I could see a few brittle lengths of desiccated wood. Close enough. The man had a sword at his waist, but strangely, he hadn't thought to draw it. He was flailing at the wolves with both outstretched arms, which seemed to be confusing the creatures. But I didn't think that would keep them occupied for long. Normally, if I'm around a dog and I'm flailing my arms around, they think it's playtime and they try to bite me. Well, not try to bite me. Try to play back. Why aren't these wolves just tearing his arms off yet? Oh yeah, it's game mechanics. If this was real life, this guy would be dead. I needed a weapon if I wanted to help him. Okay, can't fight without a weapon. Tell the man to throw your sword. You should never throw a sword at people. You could impale them. I could get impaled by a sword. I really don't want to get impaled by a sword. Take a lantern, bottle of rum. Grab a large stick from the dead woods. Fight the wolf with my bare hands. Oh, like a beast. Just punch some werewolves in the face. And karate chop them in the face. With pork chop ninja skills. I'm gonna take the lantern, because I really think I'm going to get impaled if that guy throws a sword at me. I seized the fallen lantern, which is still faintly aglow. The bottle of rum, the sharp odor of the alcohol burns my nostrils. The large gray wolf now stood only a few feet away. Its impassive yellow eyes were locked on my face. I shook the lantern at the beast, but it looked unconcerned. Oh no, this wasn't going to be enough. You could throw the alcohol on the wolf. Just saying. Could throw the alcohol on the wolf, throw the lantern at the wolf, set the wolf on fire. As cruel as that is, it is a strategy to survive. keep in mind, if you're on the verge of getting mauled by a freaking pack of wolves, you gotta do something to live. You can't just comfort the wolves with hugs and kisses. The wolf is going to eat you. Okay, what were my choices again? Let's see. Hit the Grey Wolf with a lantern. Cows the Grey Wolf with a bottle of rum. Oh! Good luck stick. No, I'm gonna use my strategy. I'm gonna set this little mother freaker on fire. In a flash of inspiration, I uncorked the bottle, sloshed the contents at the wolf. The beast looked completely dumbfounded, alcohol dripping from his face and muzzle. Well, that wolf's gonna get high on fumes and drunk on alcohol once he cleans himself. He's gonna be wibbly wobbly all over the forest. Then it howled. Woo! The rest of the pack took notice and began to circle behind me. I grabbed the stout branch from a pile of sticks and brandished at the injured alpha. He's not injured. I threw alcohol on him. He's gonna get drunk. He's not injured, he's drunk. Go home, wolf, you're drunk. This wasn't good. There was too many of them to fight off with such a simple weapon. I needed to think of something fast. Oh, okay, finally, here we go. Grey Wolf is wet with the rum, but it's still advancing. Thank you. I said all the stuff like 5 minutes ago. With all the strength I could muster, I struck at the wolf with the lantern. The effort stung my arm, and the fire swirled around me. The Grey Wolf burst into flames and fell to the ground, withering in agony. Aw, I'm sorry, buddy. But to be fair, you started the fight. You don't start a fight with me. And expect to end it. The other wolves slowly backed away, fearing their eyes. Catch! He tossed a sword at my— No! And I snatched it up in second thought and instinctively assumed a fencing stance. Okay, so he didn't tell me. Yo, catch! Ah! Oh man, that'll be hilarious. Oh, flip, Did I even read that? Okay, whatever. The Grey Wolf rolled furiously, trying to put out the flames. This was my best chance to attack. I stabbed the animal over and over until it stopped moving. Actually, yeah, that's probably the best way. As sad, as reasonable as it is to kill a wolf, if this situation ever actually happened, I would cry that I would have to do it. So, one of the many reasons I really don't go camping. Because I do love wolves. I love all animals, and I really don't want to hurt them. But, if they attack me, I'm not going to take those shenanigans. I'm not going to set them on fire, but I'm not going to tolerate those shenanigans. I'll be very unhappy. And then I get mauled. That is what I would do if I went camping. I stabbed the animal over the— okay, I read that. Blood stained my uniform, and it was hard not to gag at the acrid smell of burning flesh and fur. Gasping for breath, I looked up at the young man. Oh, he's a fancy lad, ain't he? Once the young man realized he wasn't going to die today, he slowly regained his sense. At first, he looked like he would scream again, and when he took a deep breath, I braced myself for the noise. That was the noise. But he hugged me instead. I was so surprised that I dropped the branch. Oh, the snuggles! Oh, the snuggles! Okay. I will let you snuggle me. You have saved me. He lifted me up and swung me back and forth a little. Oh, wow-wee. Someone that strong could have been able to save himself. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you! The man finally let me go, but he kept beaming at me.
Brilliant.
I'm so lucky you are out here, soldier. I would have died if not for you. My name is Alistair. Soldier. Oh right, I'm still in uniform. Well, dope. That's a good thing I'm in uniform, because it would suck to go out in the woods to be naked. He gave me a very sloppy salute before recalling how I had killed his assailant. Hoi! My sword! He stared over at the sword, embedded in the wolf, then turned back to me. Oh well, no sense in getting blood all over my clothes. Besides... oh lord. Excuse me. Wow. Hang on guys. 1 second. Hand sanitizer. Because I don't like... I like to stay clean. Hygiene. Woman's best friend. Okay. Oh well, no sense in getting blood all over my clothes. Besides, you seem to have that job covered. Well, you just snuggled me and I'm drenched in blood, so technically you got blood on you too. Just saying. I looked down at my uniform and that was indeed covered in blood. It had even seeped into the bandage binding my chest. I shuddered. Buck up, man! What's a little bud? What's a little bud? Well, what's a little blood to a strapping young soldier like yourself? Oh, I just killed a wolf and I'm kind of traumatized by that. Look, I'll fix you a fire. It'll warm you right up. I still began to gather wood from the base of the dead tree and inexplicably powdered it. I was starting to feel a little chilly. The weather was turning. I'll have this go in just a minute. Do you like marshmallows? Ooh, I love marshmallows. Huh? This man was clearly out of his wits. I might actually felt better if I stuck out to find that road again. Even returning to the camp seemed like a better idea than staying here with him. But I couldn't just leave this man to die in the forest. What if the wolves returned? I just brutally murdered the alpha. They're not going to come back. I had to remain here. It was the right thing to do, and he didn't seem capable of surviving on his own. Well, yeah, think? Yeah, he's a fancy lad, but he's a fancy lad who's not too bright. He's probably educated in many other things, just not basic survival. You're going to love these, I promised. Unless his artless fumbling was actually a clever disguised magical ritual, I could imagine we would have a fire anytime soon. I took a straight stick and a block of wood from the pile and tore the sturdy cord from my uniform. It was ruined anyway. Recalling what father had taught me, I patiently drilled into the board with a bow. Smoke began to rise, and soon I had a flame going.
Fantastic.
What a resourceful lad you are. He quickly produced a small cloth sack from his robe and emptied it into his hand. I know they're for sore throats, but I just adore them. They are perfect roasted over a fire. After snapping 2 long branches off a nearby tree, Alastor shoved the sweets onto them and moved towards the fire to roast his prize. Actually, that's the best way to eat roasted marshmallows. Oh man, I love roasted marshmallows. Actually, I can't remember the last time I had a roasted marshmallow. I am ashamed to all marshmallow levels. I know, I'm sorry. I must repent this sin immediately by going to the store and getting some marshmallows. In a couple minutes. Then he started humming, off key. See, master singer. Oh Lord Jesus, what am I doing with my life? I am so sorry, guys. You had to endure my bad jokes. The fire smelled saccharin. What? Saccharin. Normally, this wouldn't bother me, but we'd already had a run-in with the wolves, and there was no telling what a scent like that would draw in. After a minute or two, Alastair declared the marshmallows were finished roasting and offered me one. In his excitement, he nearly got the gloopy mesh on my glasses. That's why you lick your glasses. Num num num. Just bite it off the stick. I bit into the marshmallow and was pleasantly surprised by how good it tasted. I wasn't overly fond of sweets. Blasphemy! My character don't like sweets? Oh. That's it. I hate this game. I cannot play a game my character does not love sweets. I have standards, you know. Anyway, back to the game. But right now, I was willing to eat anything. Fio had made the surgery. Awesome reading skills. Stay in school, kids. The fire had made the sugary wad. Ignore everything. Ignore all of my reactions right now. Very sticky and stringy, so actually eating the marshmallow proved rather difficult. Alastair laughed. He's laughing at my reactions too. You dirty boy. That's right. Use your fingers if you have to. Don't be shy. He really is a dirty boy. Dear Lord. He was less clumsy eating his shell, and less messy. When we finished, he fetched his lantern and refilled the gas from the other small bottle. Once the flame in the lantern had been revived, he began kicking dirt into the fire. I jumped to my feet, about to protest, but there was something about his smile that stopped me. We should try and get back, don't you think? I looked back at the sword sticking out of the beast. Alastair didn't seem to be planning to take it with them. Should I retrieve the man's sword, or leave it in the wolf's body? I'm gonna take it. Because you really don't want swords to just be lying around. Anyone could take them. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. It's all that marshmallows. My lack of marshmallows. So my throat is dry because my soul is empty right now. It's in need of delicious marshmallows. I walked back to the corpse, put my foot in it, and withdrew the sword. Hey man! There can only be one! Yeah, I know, the two are different. Don't you judge me. I had expected the thin blade to be bent or broken, but amazingly, it was intact. It must have been made with very high quality steel. The man laughed. A practical man, I see. Alright, come on. He didn't wait for a reply. Instead, he walked off into the forest alone. I had little choice but to follow him in our deaths. To our deaths. Oh, what a positive thinking. Actually, I'm gonna have to end this episode right here, so I'm gonna save. Yes. because I don't want to waste any space. Okay, so that's it for this episode. If you like this game so far, let me know. Like and subscribe. And check me out in future episodes. Until next time.